Um, let's go back to where it first started. I am a victim. I am one of the one of the victims that is filing suit against the Archdiocese of Agana. Just keep in mind that there is over 200 of us that has filed it. This had been happening way back since the 1940s, and um, uh, way back in 1946 or the early 1940s, there's been or there has been a lot of there's a lawsuit against Archdiocese of Argania, and it's over 200 victims. We are a lot of us are seeking, well, most of us are seeking justice and or closure, but because of it being going on for the longest time, uh, we also would like to see these pedophiles be put to justice. But it seems like seem to be slapped. Just and then just send them on their way, and it leaves us victims hanging, and there's no closure.
Yeah.
And back then the church, like I said again, the church was infallible. That once you say anything about the church, you get punished for it. And that's physical punishment. And this in here versus what the priests are what the verdict for them is just to stop preaching. That's not justice.
Yeah.
These guys need to serve what they did to us a long time ago, and that's closure for me. That's closure for me for them, because right now my faith is still within God. I still have strong faith in God, but I just don't trust His workers. I don't trust His workers. They're giving the authority, and yet they're using the authority to their advantage, and it leaves us victims straddled against something to hold for a foundation to make sure that we can lead a better life. But even with that, we suppress the memory, and then it'll come up, and then it'll go back, and we'll suppress it. It'll come up again, and it just confuses us that I know there because where is justice? If this is what God is, if this is what they're supposed to be, so-called soldiers of God, well then I don't want to be part of that church, but I can still be part. I still want to have faith in God. My faith is different from my faith is still believing in God, but not the people that are assigned to run at the community at a parish.
Okay. So what about like you also mentioned about the settlement and the fact if you could kind of like discuss that about the settlement, where is it coming from?
Well, when I first filed a suit against the Archdiocese of Agana, I was told that I could settle for an amount. I don't want an amount. I just want justice to be justice to take over, because um, what is done to us is uncalled for. Our innocence was taken away when we're supposed to be outgrown. We're supposed to outgrow our innocence, but with the settlement, they're saying that there's a lot. The church right now, the Archdiocese, is on filed bankruptcy, and what they're having to do is they have to liquidate everything that they have that belonged to the church, but that never belonged to the church. It belonged to the community. These are properties. These are benefactors that has donated to the church alone, their livelihood, and yet I'm going to take away from that from my community, but my parents, my grandparents, my relatives, and the whole community of Guam, what they donated to the church. Yet I'm going to take away that from when it actually belonged to us to begin with. So it's just very hard to understand, because right now my emotions is like, what did I just do wrong? What did I just do? I never intended to take anything away from my people, from the community. I never did. I just want justice to be served. But yet now they're having to some churches are actually going to be closed. Some churches are going to be closed here in Guam because of that, because they don't have adequate funding for them to continue on. And yet every Sunday there's always this offering. And it's called limosna, which is what we do in any church, any Catholic church. And then there's also a second offering, and for what?
Yeah.
And that's coming from our life, our blood, sweat, and tears. that now they're going to turn back and say, oh, this property that was given to Mr. and Mrs. Nicholas way back in the early 1900s, we're going to have to take that and we're going to have to sell it so that we can pay all these clergymen. It wouldn't have never been this way if it was stopped back then. But because, again, the church being infallible, that you cannot go against the church, we were like the demons of that. And I was supposed to become a priest. I was supposed to become a priest. My family was carrying me out to become a priest. But ever since I told an aunt about it, who was a nun, and she said, "Are you sure you still want to continue?" And I'm so glad that she said, she told me that, because I didn't want, it was what my family wanted me to be, either to become a teacher or to become a priest. But I studied. I was going to school in Poly, which is a parochial school back then. I was always there with Father. I was always there with Father after the incident, but he was a different priest. But I'm so glad she asked me, because is that what you want? Because she saw more potential in me than becoming a priest. But I was a choir director, as a church choir director. Those are the evangelical things that I have to do for the church, just so that I know that I can be, that I know that I found sanctity in the church alone. But now I'm seeing, it's like, oh my gosh, it's not. That's not what's happening. It's living up with the Joneses now. Because these are things that was given to the church itself. Now they're gonna have to give it back to me, or back, and I'm, that's the hard work that our family did. That's all the hard work that our family did, and that's what emotionally that's getting me is, did I do the right thing or did I do the wrong thing? Am I going against my people, or am I going against the church that actually victimized me?
Okay. Thank you.